Gotcha.
Opportunity, promotion, blah, blah. You know, those are just words.
Words. All I have to offer is words. Just words.
Nobody cares.
Oh, no.
Nobody cares.
What's going on, my beautiful peoples? Today is a absolutely lovely Friday after evening. I was gonna say afternoon, but I'm like, it's like a whole night.
After evening.
But
Dead ass dark. Dead ass dark.
But it's like, yo, we got that hour back, or like we lost an hour, but we get more sunlight, and you know, so the energy of the universe is finally falling back into place.
Yeah.
That's a
some
trippy
sun.
hour.
Yes.
That shit is
We
trippy.
need some sun. We need some
Trippy.
sun.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, what happened to time?
I know, right?
Like one moment it's 2 a.m. and the next is like fucking 4, and I'm like, where did I lose the whole time?
Is it like Latino, like, or is it everybody? Like, don't you feel like they remind you like just the day before?
Yo, my man, it's
Like it's always the day before, like all of a sudden randomly.
All the Latinos
You hear
late
it
for
in the
work.
background of some like commercial, like don't forget to set your hours ahead. You're like, oh,
Shit, yeah,
This
it's
was
true.
at 10 p.m. for us. I was like, oh shit.
yeah, right. So I was just like,
yeah, I was mad lost.
crazy.
I was like, wait, what are we doing?
Took like a week to catch up. Be
But
like,
I heard
okay,
now
okay.
they're gonna make that permanent.
Is
that true?
Yeah,
It's gonna be permanent how it is now.
Now,
I
that's
think
what I heard.
I think that's it. Yeah, I
For
think they're gonna.
farmers
Is
and
this
all
real?
that crops. Yeah, that's what I heard.
That's what it was originally. The reason behind it.
But
Yeah.
there are no farmers. What
But that's,
farmers?
yeah.
It's all machines
shit's
now.
done.
good.
Yeah.
So
Good,
Christmas, we're gonna be Christmas shopping and all that shit. 8 o'clock, and the sun is still gonna be out. and all that.
oh,
Yeah.
qué bonito.
That's
So,
I
qué
like
bonito.
it.
But is it gonna feel the
Yeah.
same? I don't know if it's gonna feel
Yeah.
the same as Christmas.
Well, I mean, you have to
Nah,
wait till
take
later
it.
for
You
the
take
lights.
it?
Yeah.
But no matter what,
Hopefully they throw aguinaldos too up in Macy's.
but the axis of the world will still be on the back, or like on the backside, so we won't get that. Becomes a whole thing
I
of
don't
solar
know that.
system.
That's way too complex for me right now.
And like the way that the Earth tilts, so no matter what, we'll still get less sunlight for that period of time.
Because it is seasonally winter.
yeah,
Right?
So no matter, but it's just an hour.
Yeah,
Whatever. Anyways,
Is it good luck or bad luck? Is it?
I have no idea, man.
We
I
need
mean,
some sun. We need some
Sun is good. Sun is
It,
good.
it was for the farmers to have their alarm clocks set.
Why not take some extra vitamin D? We need some extra vitamin D.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, put the supplements away.
Hey, yo.
Self-care. Self-care.
Self-care.
Mental wellness.
I'm your host, Ron K, and today we got on deck a beautiful host, man. It's so lovely going to go down memory lane with you. But before we get started, let me make sure you know who we got on deck. My brother, my main man, Dre Drizzle.
Let's go. What's going on, my people? Finally, we are back this beautiful Friday night.
I'm so used to doing Saturday.
I know. I almost got fucked up right there, but we put through it.
How you doing, baby?
I'm doing good, man. You know, waiting for this nice weather to come through. Well, this winter hasn't been that bad, so.
Okay, come
It hasn't snowed.
I wear that
Nah,
one
knock on
jacket
wood.
this whole winter. It's a
on
jacket. It's not even a coat.
Didn't you mention that somebody suggested you should have a stylist?
That's right. I see why she said that.
She was actually looking out for
Yeah,
you.
no, she's looking out for me. Yeah. I'm feeling good. I'm
Sit
feeling
here in a
good.
triple fat goose, like
Yeah,
I got one. I got one.
I think I'm just gonna start buying everything always like a season after.
Yeah.
That way I just get my shit on super sale.
And that's it.
Yeah,
That's the
That's it.
trick.
because I've been like wanting a bag. I've been wanting like an old school Nautica fluffy big jacket and shit. And when I was a kid, I'm like, fuck, I wanted a North Face. But now I'm like, nah, I just want some random shit.
Old school shit. Old school
The only
shit.
que these days you're only gonna rock it for a couple weeks.
No, it could, yeah, bro.
You
That's
like
right,
a
that's what I'm
couple
saying,
cold
yeah,
fronts and then,
yeah,
which I
yeah.
like.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's weird, but I like
It
it.
is weird. You need to have like all your clothes available, like the summer, the fall, the spring, winter, because you just don't know how to dress day to day.
I know you're in intros, but I'm thinking,
No.
is it just me or when we were younger and whatever, let's date it. You know, vamos a decir los 80, 90, right? Not for nothing. Were
put it
there
like
that
that?
many mosquitoes? Habían tantos mosquitos acá arriba.
Yo, bro, you know what it is?
Because that's what I keep telling people. I'm like, yo, in order to get bit by a mosquito back in the day like I do now in my crib in Jersey. I used to have to. It was either in Miami or in Puerto Rico. It was in the summer where I come back fucking looking like I had measles or whatever. Like, but now I wake up from bed in the morning, bro, with a lump. Like,
Because it's warm. It's warm
Agua
now.
Maravilla all over my shit, bro. Like,
It's
That
warm.
might be
It's
your
warm
house
now.
situation.
Yeah, I know.
did you have a lot of mosquitoes here growing
I
up?
mean, no, I think we're
I didn't grow
good.
up
But
here.
now that we got this whole $30 million park behind us, that I hit up every once in a while.
Oh yeah.
Got all types of shit now.
Yeah, and I was like, I see snakes.
Yeah, all
the
types
fucking
of shit.
raccoons be
Yeah.
up and
Right,
about.
get a coyote up in there.
All types of shit.
Fucking wildlife, I ain't gonna lie,
There's a
it's like
hawk.
crazy, yo.
There's a hawk in the park.
Yeah,
There's a hawk. Yeah.
There's a hawk. I found this nest. I've been like,
You found the
fucking,
nest?
yeah. Like I was doing like bullshit half sit-ups and I saw it. I was like, oh shit.
shit.
You seen the owl in Central Park?
No, I haven't.
His name is Flaco.
Flaco. Is it really
Yeah.
Flaco?
Wait, but that's the
Flaco.
one that escaped from the zoo.
From the zoo,
From the
yeah.
zoo, yeah.
He's beautiful.
Good for
I
them.
had
Yeah,
no
owls are
idea
beautiful.
this was
Yeah,
even
yeah.
happening.
Me
Yeah.
neither. We met a raccoon in the park, Central Park, that was just like chilling on a tree,
That nigga
very
was
close
posing
to
for
the.
my whole picture.
Damn. That's up.
Yeah, literally posing. I was like,
Let's head to Park Raccoon.
But
nice.
bald eagles are working their way
Yeah,
up to making cameos.
didn't we have like a whole fucking whale or dolphins in the
yeah,
Bronx?
yeah, some shit like that. That's right.
Yeah.
That last summer.
Yeah.
No, like
This
like
summer-
not too
not
long ago.
long
Like
ago.
now?
Yeah,
No
dolphins in the
way.
Bronx.
Yeah.
They blessed the Bronx
Yeah.
with their presence.
Yeah,
Wow.
and it was like a whale, not a whale, but like there was some shit like
Some shit
in
that's not
the-
supposed to be in the Bronx. Let's put it that way. Let's put it that way.
a
Some
good
shit that wasn't supposed to be swimming in the fucking Bronx was in the Bronx. So
It could be a good omen if you choose to see it that way.
Yo, bro.
Only time will tell.
Before you know it, you're gonna get like snapper up here.
bro,
It's getting
that-
very tropic.
is that
Very
scary or
tropic in New
exciting?
York.
Is that
That's
scary
what
or
I mean.
exciting?
Like,
I mean,
yeah.
Shit like that's not supposed to happen.
What it is to me is that it makes the climate shift theory much
Real,
very prevalent.
yeah,
prevalent. It's like, yo, it's not fake, bro. It's not a theory. This
It's
is real
happening.
Right.
Yeah.
We are
Bro,
living
like,
it
we're
right
living
now.
it.
We're living it.
Yo, 'cause I remember it being like in, talking about like 98 or whatever. Yo, bro, okay, the fucking snows would be feet.
Bro,
Feet.
yeah. When
Big,
I
like
saw-
3-4 feet.
When I saw Winter Storm the other day, Winter Storm, alert.
Man.
Man, this little fairies hitting me in the face. I'm like, nah, this shit can't be real, man. This shit cannot be real. This shit cannot be Winter Storm, be careful.
Little fairies. You remember?
fairies is I'm like, what the
Flurries.
fairies?
You don't want fairies hitting you in the face, bro.
Oh, shit. Yeah, fairies, that's what I meant. Fairies.
Flurry.
But it's true.
Yeah,
But you're right. You're right.
What the
You're
fuck
right.
is this?
No, bro, and it gave me like I did get a little bit of panic anxiety because we were out in Houston, right? And and I saw all the fucking things like, oh
Yeah.
shit, I'm not going out because it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, sin embargo, look at the other side. Look at California. Look at
Bro.
Oh
Texas.
my
Texas,
God! Yeah, my
No,
brother's
that
out
is
skiing
weird.
in California right now. The snow is above the houses. It's
Yeah.
Wait,
above
what?
the houses in
You
California.
gotta send me
You know how like
Yeah, I'll
the
send you
Latinos
the
there
picture.
used to make fun of us, siempre en el frío.
No, bro.
No, no.
Yeah, how about now,
I
right?
legit have 3 friends that moved to Cali saying like, fuck this weather. I'm giving
Yeah.
I'm
Now
going
we're
to
getting the Cali
and I'm
weather.
like, yo, I'm glad
We're
you took that shit with you.
I'm
Good luck
back.
with the flooding
I'm
in
in
Cats.
CVS and shorts I'm with chancletas on.
Just kidding.
Dead ass middle of February, bro.
It's crazy.
Straight up getting milk.
It's crazy.
Oh,
It's
man.
crazy.
And that other lovely voice that I'm about to finally fucking intro that you're listening to is the wonderful, the lovely, the always honorable Lady H.
Okay, I forgot my intro song.
Oh, there you go.
It's been so long.
I know.
It's been like 2 months since I've been on.
Yeah,
here,
lady's been traveling.
I'm very happy to be back.
Yeah, we
Very
happy you're
happy.
back. We happy you're back.
Always, forever blessed to be by your presence.
Likewise,
Forever, yeah, forever blessed. To
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, just always great
Likewise.
times. And happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
yes,
I'm the big 3-3.
yes,
I will date myself. Also, I think
Rumba.
I will reveal my true identity at some point. I just need to marry that. But yes, I'm happy to be back. My name is Aide.
Hey there. You are finally here.
I am finally here. Yes.
It was
birthday.
a great time. We went to the Flatiron Room last night.
It was so nice.
was
Great
just-
suggestion, babe.
Chill, like fucking just nice little vibes, man. Jazz music in the background.
Then we had three French
There you go.
guys, all with the same big ass hat, come and sit in the table behind us, and they're talking in their French accents, like or their French language, not accents. But they had those hats on.
That shit, and then I'm talking about like the Will, the Will Ferrell, the Pharrell hat, the fucking, the big hats with
the big brims.
with the brims,
you know what I'm talking about, the fucking the Smokey the Bear hat.
Yo,
Not,
gotcha.
not as
really?
big, not as tall, but that shape.
Did they have the Super Mario Kart shoes too?
No, they didn't. They it was just
The
three
big red
white French
shoes?
guys.
Unbelievable.
Yo,
It's
man.
unbelievable.
They
People's
clearly
buying
went
out
to the
there
same
nowadays.
hat shop and all bought the same hat that day.
What's your ethnicity, Aide?
I'm Mexican.
Mexican. Oh, nice.
Mexicana.
What part of Mex?
Two different parts. So my father is from Puebla. He was born there, but
Yeah.
then he spent the majority of his time growing up in Monterrey. And so I spent my summers going there and staying with my
Your dad?
grandparents. With my grandparents.
With your grandparents, all right.
Yeah. My
On your
mom,
dad's side?
On my dad's side.
Okay.
My mom is from Sonora, from a very, very tiny. No, actually, she was born in Cananea, which is a copper mining town in Sonora, 5 hours from the Arizona border. And then they moved to Agua Prieta, which is a border town on Arizona and Mexico. And I took him
And
for
what
the first
state?
time. Arizona.
No,
Sonora. Sonora.
Sonora's the state.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So they met in Agua Prieta and they migrated to Arizona, where I was born.
Yeah.
And then they took us to Wisconsin for 2 years and then to Texas.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Where do your
my
parents live now?
In Texas, outside of
Alright,
Austin.
Cool.
Yeah.
Got you.
Agua Prieta, they ain't shit to do that.
Oh,
United-
no. There's nothing there.
it's like
It's,
nothing.
it's the quietest town. Like, it's the smallest
Yeah.
crossing.
Like, yo, people just walking
Yeah.
back and forth in that border, like
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
Like,
No, for real. But people just cross to go to Walmart on the American side.
Yeah.
And it's Douglas, Arizona is the other city, but that town's like a ghost town because all the young people have left. So it's just a bunch of old people.
Oh, wow.
Gotcha.
But the Mexican side, Agua Prieta, is like booming.
Yeah.
There's a ton of babies, ton of families moving
Oh,
there.
yeah?
Yeah.
Yo, bro,
Yeah.
it you know what it is that not just social media, but social media, the news, everything has me so programmed that when I thought I was gonna see the border, I was gonna see like the hustle and bustle and the whole shit.
Yeah, the walls and shit. That's
No,
what I'm
it's-
picturing in my head right
Yeah.
now.
No,
Nah,
it's
bro,
the quietest
just-
border.
They literally
Yeah.
crossing. I mean, they got
It
the.
must be beautiful, though.
And it's just like, hey, what's up?
I mean, the town itself is like nothing to write home about, but it's
Yeah.
in the desert, which the desert's beautiful.
Yeah.
And my grandparents, they live like a block away from the wall.
Yeah.
Right
Oh
there.
yeah, literally. The
The
wall's right
actual wall?
Yeah, the
nigga.
wall.
The Trump wall?
Yeah, it's
No,
not
it's the Bush wall.
The Bush wall.
Oh, it's the
Yeah.
Bush wall.
Yeah.
It's not as big as the Trump wall.
Mexico's top. I mean,
It's
I've been.
better than the Trump wall.
It is
actually.
better than the
yeah,
Trump
the Trump
wall?
wall's shit.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. The Bush
yeah.
wall's like iron, like fucking.
Shit is
that's
real.
a wall.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can't get past that.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Damn.
Fun little facts about our borders.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Brought to you
yeah.
by you.
Real. Yeah, you got the real.
Just
Real
words,
shit.
nobody
No
cares.
fake news. You know what I mean? Like,
I've been through a lot of border crossings, legal
Yeah.
border crossings, just to clarify. And the worst one is the one in Laredo. That one I did every summer going to Monterrey. We
Wow.
would cross, and you'd spend like minimum 2 hours crossing that damn bridge. Yeah.
This shit, like
Just
people are literally
traffic
walking.
or-
In a car without AC, always.
my
Oh, we
God.
had my grandparents had like an SUV, a beat up SUV or a beat up van that looks like come inside, children. Candy. No,
I have
AC.
ice cream.
Suffering.
I have candy.
Puebla is a place as home. I've been in Mexico, but
Yeah.
the places that I don't count as Mexico, like in DR, like I don't count Punta Cana as me going to DR.
Right.
You go to
Super
resorts.
touristy.
You go to resorts.
Yeah, I've been to
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Tulum and I did
Cancun.
Mazatlan.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Mexico is towards the top in one of my like upcoming trips as far as
Yeah.
like down in Latin America. Like I want to do obviously
You got it.
Mexico City, Oaxaca. I want to check that out.
We went to Chiapas a year ago.
Chiapas.
You gotta check
Bro,
that out.
we went to the border of Guatemala and Mexico. Nigga,
Wow.
there was like
Yeah.
I literally
There
just
was
walked
nothing.
across the street and
There-
I was just like, I'm here now.
There was,
shit.
there was not even a
Damn.
street.
Not
It
even a
was,
street,
it
it's
was a
just
little
like-
path that you take just to go on a walk, and you were there. in
No,
Guatemala.
no stamps.
Nah.
No.
Literally
No
walking.
agents. Like a little boy came running. You remember the little boy that was like running out to us, and he came to ask us for some money.
Peso. Little nigga busted his ass, bro.
Yeah.
He was running down the hill. He was like, peso. And I was like, damn, man, you made it this far, and I don't have your currency, bro. You came from Guatemala, nigga.
His mother was screaming at him, no juegue en Guatemala.
Yo, he was like, no juegue en Mexico. Ven pa'
acá, coño, para Guatemala. Te dije que no vaya para México.
Yo creo que sí lo regañó. Yeah.
Cuando te vayas a México, coño, te voy a dar una pela. Vete para Guatemala. It's that easy to cross.
Yo, bro, it was literally right there.
It was right there.
Like, I kid you not, man.
Yo, God bless that hustle, man.
real, fuck that.
Jumping into
my
another
God.
country, you know, you
Fuck
getting,
that. Yeah, by all means.
He's
All
getting
the
it,
life
man.
of the world.
That's why when I see the news and they're like, these people are making their way from fucking Nicaragua, and I'm like,
the caravan is coming.
and I'm like, bro,
relax.
I'm like, do you not understand that these motherfuckers barely got roads?
Relax,
Like, yo, they're
bro.
walking through mountains, bro.
Relax, relax.
Like, what, my man? There's people walking down these streets that can't go 2 blocks without GPS. You mean to tell me that the niggas is making it through
Right.
countries and
Right.
rivers and mountains?
Right.
And it's like,
Directly to the United States.
Right.
like,
really,
you know
bro?
what, man? Like, believe whatever the
Yeah,
fuck you want, bro.
exactly.
but
And you gotta
whatever.
be scared. And you
Yeah,
gotta be
you
scared.
gotta be scared.
But
Yeah.
no, terrified. The fucking Mexicans
Yeah,
are coming in and they're
yeah.
gonna take your job.
In
More
120
Latinos, more
days.
Latinos.
They'll
More
touch down in
Latinos.
120 days precisely. What the? They don't even know what
Another
they're touching
100
down.
million. Another 100 million.
During the whole COVID shit, and motherfuckers were coming from Haiti, and they were going from Haiti to Mexico, and then Mexico they get up, and I'm like, bro, you know, like you went through all that, and you made like, do you not understand how much you gotta go through? You gotta come in a fucking Yola.
It's a lot.
Right.
That shit's a mission.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then get over there, and then walk. And you see these people in
Right.
chancletas, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like,
And then they work and raise people like us,
oh
Yeah.
man.
you know, who are established with 2 good feet on our
That's
ground
true.
and doing well in this country.
The struggle's
but
real.
God forbid that we're loud and proud.
No.
You know,
How dare you?
we're not far removed from
How dare you?
what he just described.
Exactly.
You know?
No, we're not.
And we're gonna be loud, you know.
Yeah.
You're gonna be proud. You're gonna
have
have
to.
that sensitivity. You're gonna have
Have
that
to.
emotion. Porque, loco,
It's
it was only a matter of years ago.
it's a
You know what I mean?
struggle. It's a
Before
struggle.
Literally one generation
someone
apart.
in our
Yeah,
family
one
was
generation
yeah,
apart. One generation.
Serious.
So
And before we go any further, because we got into a deep conversation about
Right away.
who we
away.
got on deck, my brother, my man, already super excited to talk about and say everything we're going to talk about. Fucking Gabriel Irizarry to put his show and talk about his fucking book, I Soy Latino. I know I called him Gabe Irizarry because that is his real name, but to me, he will be Gabe, bro. Oh, man, my brother Gabe on fucking deck, man.
thank you.
AKA
dog.
Poet G.
Oh yeah, my bad. And that's the other geek name.
Poet G.
Poet fucking G.
Yes.
Or Poet G. My bad, not the
Logo. Thank you for the invite, man. Being here with you, you already know we go way back.
We
bro.
go way
This
back.
This is family here.
Yeah.
You know, family makes it more difficult, right? To do this for you guys because literally this is like giving y'all a window into our sala. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Because we've sat in this, you know,
Nice.
sala and many salas having deep conversations. You know what I mean? We've produced together. We've cried together. You know what I mean? We've shared so many moments. So for me, this is like probably one of the most beautiful things that I've done. So,
Absolutely.
Super excited
Absolutely.
to have you,
Aprecio, bro.
Absolutely.
It's, you know, literally as you said the word sala, it throws me back because we had a collective without even knowing we had a collective. Yeah, back when we were hanging out, and we brought this briefly up during Homeboy Sandman's visit, and we were talking about how we would record. And what we mentioned you briefly, but what we didn't mention is where we were recording was in this man's fucking house.
165 for Washington. That's right.
The G
Yeah.
crib.
165 for Wash.
Yo, we went from
Bro.
fucking
Yo, shout out to Rudy. I
Yeah,
rented it from Rudy.
Shout out to Rudy.
I rented it from Rudy.
Yeah, shout out to Rudy.
You know?
This man let me sleep, live,
Word up.
and rock in his
Word
fucking
up.
in his living room, and right on that motherfucking couch, chilling. And not just me. Then he also welcomed the entire family.
Yep.
Like yo, the
Yep.
cousins, everybody
Yep.
would just rock, and it became a whole family group, productivity, parties, just literally everything on overall life and living. So Matt,
It was a real clubhouse.
beautiful.
no, it was
That's
a
really
real.
beautiful.
Hey, a lot
Family
of beauty
clubhouse.
was born
Hell yeah.
in
Hell
that place,
yeah.
and dude, now we're headed into next generations
Yeah.
of beauty.
Yeah.
You know, I have a little one. You know what I mean? So,
Crazy.
hey, I thanked him before. You know, Ron, like for me, whatever. It was there's the poet G, but I've always been the promoter G. You know what I mean? The little Latino ditty of the block, right? The parties, and always like, it always felt good to me to promote other people. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just something natural in me. I think I got it from my dad. You know, he coached me in baseball. He was very much that way, you know, and my dad was always like promoting you, you know, he was always like, oh, like that play you made or this and that. But creatively, you know, we're all born with like that side. So it's always like inside, you know, but having being around Ron so much and just seeing him just put his creativity just out there, you know, and just naturally, like this guy has never been unnatural. You know what I mean? It gave me the confidence where I was like, all right, it's time for me to start spitting this poetry that I've been fucking reciting in the shower, you know, for like 4 years now. You know what I mean? On the low, like, can I do it? Can I do it? You know, bro. So
Oh man,
man.
appreciate you sharing those words. I
man.
had I wasn't privy to that when we were much younger, you know, because we were just wilding out, doing our thing, and it's like, yo, we gonna fucking
Wildin'
do
out,
it.
yeah.
We gonna do something, and from that really did come out, you know, like a lot of shit. We your roommate was it was Carl Foreman.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Carl Foreman.
Shout out to Carl.
Shout out
Shout out to Carl for
Congratulations,
losing.
Carl.
I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to Carl for losing a lot of sleep fucking with us, bro. 'Cause,
Yo.
yo, bro, we used to be in his living room.
Bro.
Lady H, I ain't gonna lie. We used to be in this guy's living room. He had to go to work. Carl had to go to work. But we was just going crazy in it. It was just a disaster. Playing beats.
I'm sorry,
Oh
but
my
my
God.
favorite Carl story was the cucarachas, bro.
Oh,
No, not the cucarachas. The rat, Ralphie the rat.
Ralphie
I called
the
the rat
rat?
Ralphie. Yeah. So I'm watching TV one day, and you know how I had that setup where it's just like the TV, but it wasn't like fucking what we have now.
Yeah.
You know, a little TV on a big stand.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean? It looked like a little head. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, bro, it must have been one of the tunnel rats that got into the crib
got
because
an alley rat.
there was a big hole in the back room where Carl slept.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I'm watching TV, bro, and I see that fucking rat, bro. Not
Not a mouse,
ratacita.
not a mouse, a rat.
A
Yeah,
rat.
that's how you know it's from
Alley
the
rat.
rat.
Yo,
Alley rat.
and he's not thinking, like trying to run around. Bro, he just stops like,
What are you doing here?
and I'm just like frozen. I just can't believe what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Oh
So I
my
tell Carl.
God.
Carl goes, he buys every fucking can of like poison. Like I don't know. He bought buckets, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
of poison, puts that shit out everywhere, and it was like the backfire of backfires.
Oh
like
my God.
all that shit did was attract the fucking family, the friends, like
What?
the,
Oh my
yo, the caravans,
God.
bro,
Of rats?
the yolas,
Of street
yo,
rats.
yeah. They're coming for real, bro.
Oh,
so our
hell
house became like, it was
that's
crazy.
terrible.
Yeah, and then we had the fly
That is
epidemic.
terrible.
We had fucking Tony on some back to DR shit.
Yeah, he was
trapped
popping
one in the vacuum.
No,
I was like, loco, where'd you
He
learn
took,
that
like
shit,
a
bro?
water bug and held it in his hand, and I'm like, why, nigga? Like, why are you? And the nigga killed it, and then
Straight
he propped
DR, straight propped it.
and he propped it somewhere just so it could scare somebody.
He found that shit in the elevator, bro.
Oh my
In the elevator. Me and him was in the elevator. He just pat. Oh, watch this,
Yeah.
right? Like, but man, that's a
Loco, eso
big
no hay
ass
nada.
water bug. He
No hay
propped
nada,
it, I
bro.
think, like in your nightstand or some shit.
It's a
Bro.
scare off of all the other critters.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm like, why are you doing this, bro?
That's a DR shit.
Not that,
for
I,
real.
not that I
Wow.
condone, murder, but
No.
he would be a perfect sicario.
Yeah, bro.
Bro, he's a ninja, bro.
Yo,
Tony's a
Shout
ninja,
out to
bro.
Tone.
Yo,
Shout out to
man.
Tone, man. Miss you,
But-
Tone.
Fuck it, but shout out to everybody, man. So from that, like it's so much, man. But you literally allowed the housing of so many energies in this space.
Yeah.
And you know, and Carl was really also cool about it because he was your roommate. He was like,
and
nah.
Carl was
Like-
was trying to get in the entertainment business too.
And
at the
he's
time,
out in
too.
Cali
He was in
now.
Harvard. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He was.
He did a vitamin water commercial.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, like he did.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is my daughter. She was recently accepted to an Ivy League school. The tuition is very, very expensive. My wife and I were unsure how we would ever be able to afford it until the university gave her a full scholarship. So we pretty hype about that. She'll probably be a doctor someday.
Big shit.
Carl's
and-
doing this
good
thing.
for
As a
him.
matter of fact, my daughter right now, the lane that she's trying to go is exactly the lane that Carl took
was doing.
in life. Yeah.
So
Like that's
it was dope being, you know, in that room, in a room where at the time you were a Wall Street dude.
Hell
And
yeah.
So
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Wolf of Wall
But you still- it's we
Wolf
got
of Wall Street.
Fucking Wolf of Wall Street. So he was bringing that energy. You know, Carl had stand-up comedy energy. We fucking
You making beats over here. I'm buying Caporal. We eat a Caporal chicken. This is motherfucker. Yo, this shit was insane. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta thank you, bro. Cause I ain't gonna lie. I swear to you, that's probably one of my funnest times in my life, bro.
yeah.
Cause there was a lot of partying and a lot of
Logo,
like
you know what it was?
creativeness and shit going
doing,
on.
Doing 10 hours in these Excel spreadsheets, you know, running these CMBS models, and then I come home, and that's where like a little bit of the agitation would start. Like, fuck Ron, man, like, cause the crib is popping, it's popping. But then before you know it, here I am at 2 in the morning, with everybody on a Tuesday.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Next day at work like this, zombie running
Hurt like a
models.
motherfucker. Hurt like a motherfucker.
Oh man. But yo, so now, you know, fast forward from all of that, you got a book. I
Yes.
Soy Latino, man. And
Yes.
you know,
Congrats.
I have yet to read it
great.
because I just got my copies today. You know, we
Yeah.
got them on deck. But as soon as I heard and I saw it online, because you didn't even text me to be like, yo, Ron, I dropped a book. I had to like fucking find out about it. I was like, oh shit. I'm
Instagram.
like, I texted this man immediately. I was like, my man, you dropped a book and you ain't fucking tell me? And he's like, yeah, man, you know, I'm out here trying, like, nah, you going now?
Nah.
You're gonna now tell me about it on this motherfucking podcast. Yo, but what made you take that leap of going from doing a little bit of poetry here and there and dabbling with it to now, you know, publishing your very own copy of I Soy Latino? As a matter of fact, how did you even go about choosing that name? What inspired the title?
Well, the full title's I Soy Latino, Second Generation Bilingufication. Right?
Oh, so the graffiti
what-
on
Graffiti goes with the
I
title.
thought it was just part of the background
And
because
shout out to Lucia Compe. She did that beautiful illustration.
Oh, wow.
That's one of the most beautiful illustrations I've ever seen. So shout out to her and thank you.
no, absolutely, brother.
Thank you.
I Soy Latino. What is the rest? My bad.
Second Generation Bilingufication.
Bilinguification. I fucking love it.
I love it.
Yeah, man.
I love it. So what inspired the title?
Well, you know, as you know, there's some of that content was in the making back in that day, right? So over over decades almost. And, you know, I always knew that there was a common theme, which is that second generation bilinguification, right? It's basically the second generation experience here through poetry. You know, me personally, I've always identified with all Latinos. You know, I'm a very proud Puerto Riqueño. You know, I was raised with my Puerto Rican family, but I'm also Cuban, right? So I could get very
My bad.
Miami.
I should give the shout outs.
Shout out to Cuba.
You know,
Shout out to
Shout
every
out
Latino.
to PR in Cuba.
but I grew up in Washington Heights, so
yeah.
I've always felt Dominican.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
Even when I found out you were Puerto Rican, I was like, no, this is not.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, so,
I was like, nah.
Cuban, man.
right.
I was like, yeah,
My daughter's Colombian. You know.
Yeah.
So, two of my best friends Mexican. You know, so for me, and when I go to Latin American countries, I've always felt at home. You know, it doesn't even matter. You know, and for me, it was surprising at first when I was younger, because like Puerto Rico is easy for me. You know, I go there, and it's just like.
It's home. Second
know?
skin. Yeah.
But it had that same feeling when I went to Colombia, when I went to Panama, when I went to Peru, you know, and other Latin American countries, DR, I had that same feeling, you know what I mean? So it's an anthology of works over the years. There are some more recent works, you know, but it follows the theme of our experience here, right? Our experience of family, you know, how we identify, our experience of love, you know, how we
It's a very
identify.
complex one.
Always a tough
themes.
one.
Light
Always a
themes.
tough one. You know, I got a poem in there called Subway Love.
Oh shit.
Oh, I was looking at that one.
Yeah. I saw that one.
I've been
Your
trying to
page
push that one because that one's more universal, you know, for marketing
Yeah.
purposes. Because
Subway
even though these
love.
days the Subway's a little different, you know.
Yeah.
but
Very,
in my day,
very.
remember,
very,
you know, you
very. Don't
sit
look at
down
me.
and you see that girl,
Yeah,
and,
like
and you know,
Subway love, not
you can't,
even-
you can't
Sexual
stop-
harassment.
Yeah,
Just don't
yeah.
look at me
Oh
wrong
yeah,
way.
forget it. Oh yeah.
No,
no.
or you just looking at that girl
real.
hoping she lifts her head up
Right,
from the phone.
right.
That, or they grab you on social media.
Oh no,
blast you.
now
Yeah.
you can't tell. You're looking
Yeah.
at the crown of her
Hey,
head. You know what I mean? Like you
You're
said,
like,
that's
I
what-
hope she looks up.
and
I
that's
hope
what
she
I'm
looks up.
getting at.
Fuck, it's about stop. I'll catch you next
Bro,
morning.
Dre, that's exactly el punto. Like, we used to sit there and you're like, dum, 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 you know, and then all of a sudden, oh damn,
You
she's
lock
cute.
eyes with someone.
You know,
Yeah.
and you're younger, you're even more like shy
Yeah.
and nervous about it. But then, damn, she caught my ass twice. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna kick it to her. And back then, kicking it was like literally like,
No.
you know, let me try to get your number, you know,
Yeah.
this motion, you know, for those that know how to write still. And in all of that, you're still guessing it, but you're also like already in your head, took her out on a date. You already had your first
yeah.
kiss. You're already picturing it. You already know her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You already know how she
Yeah.
looks dressed in like different
All that shit.
clothing. You know what I mean? And you're
She's
like, I'm
meeting
gonna
the
do it. I'm gonna do
parents,
it.
all
And then
that.
it's like
Dressed in different clothing.
You know,
I
you
love
reach-
that.
you
Niceness
reach
of
out.
it.
Yeah.
175th Street or 181st Street, and ella se para, and you're like,
Fuck.
no,
We
no,
have
no,
a
no,
whole
no,
life together.
no. He said,
You're supposed to be on 168 with me.
no, and you have
That wasn't in the
a
plan.
little bit of
That wasn't in
heartbreak
the
there,
plan.
a little bit of heartbreak there, and then you're like, what time was it? All right, does she ride it at the same time? Like,
Is she in the same
yeah,
car?
yeah, I'll see her
where was I
tomorrow.
standing?
Yeah.
No, I love it. You never see her again. You know
You
what I
try
mean?
to recreate the circumstances, though. You try to get on the train at the
Yeah.
same time, or you caught it in the same car.
But
know,
sometimes
Subway
that
love,
moment,
you know?
you can't capture that moment
Did you
ever.
ever fucking this is funny and like way off topic though, not off topic. Would you ever consider going on Craigslist and put like
misconnections. I would
and-
always go look at those.
yeah, and you put misconnections and it'll be like, hey, you know, such and such that I saw on the A train this day.
No,
and
yeah, they got that on-
you were wearing this and this and that. If you read this, please, you know, reply back and what, and like, yo, you would read people's story about what they
Yeah.
were.
Yeah.
And Craigslist
Honestly,
was
never
full-
know that.
full
Should look to
disclosure,
see
I'm
if
not
they
even
still
gonna
have
hide
it.
it.
I never
If
knew
I
that.
knew about that, I would have posted it on
I mean,
there, right?
I
There
love.
was a few man que
never
me
knew that.
enamoré, like damn, I pray I would see her again, you know?
No, and people write like real
Like that.
poetic shit. You
Word.
were wearing
I
a
remember
beautiful
that.
sundress. Oh no, this.
That's wild.
I
never
would look
heard
at it to be
that.
like, is it me?
I
I was
never-
there. No, it's not me. It's not me.
Imagínate what a stalker you must be coming off like too. Tú sabes.
You know,
Word
Right
up.
now, you're
Okay.
like radar list. You're on like
But-
fucking
Yeah.
But to
perp
tell you the
registry.
truth,
like,
that
you
is
never
true.
find a job again.
nah.
That is
Oh yeah,
seeking
yeah,
true
yeah,
love,
exactly.
though. That is seeking true love. To go back home and be like, you was wearing this and this. That is like,
I will never
damn.
forget you.
passion.
The light hits
passion.
you, and the beautiful subway lights hit you in a radiant way.
Bro,
That's
hey,
wild.
if you're on the 7, right? Yo, that when the lights went out, I felt like I needed to save you.
That's wild. I did not know they had that.
So that's their next book. Is going to be Misconnections.
Misconnections, yeah. You know, but that one, you know, it's un tapón, right? Like whatever, like it's in there. But to stay on the themes, you know, you have pride, right? That's a big one. You know, and it's funny because I grew up in Washington Heights. Again, you know, I'm Latino, fucking Puerto Rico all day, Cuba all day, DR all day, but Washington Heights all day. You know, and I consider Washington Heights a culture in of itself.
I did appreciate that you didn't wear Puerto Rican tank tops all the time. You get tired of these niggas wearing these
It's
fucking
funny
flat,
because
bro.
I just,
They rap
my
hard,
cousin
bro.
just hooked me up with a dope custom Puerto Rico jersey, and they're playing today. And this is how you know I love these people. He knows, Ron knows. First of all, one of the times I hated Ron the most was when Carlos Beltran struck out
Oh my god.
in my house,
Oh, shit.
in the apartment, and Ron knew. Ron saw me split like this. and fucking fall to the side. Y él me tiró like he just gigged on it. And I was like, oh my God.
Heartbroken.
I was like, I hate you. I hate you.
Nigga,
Today,
just
PR
fucking
plays
Mets,
Mexico, by the way.
PR plays Mexico today?
Yeah, and I was like, fuck,
Shout out to
7
PR.
Oh,
o'clock.
I hope Mexico wins.
I think PR was winning last time I checked,
shit.
but I was going to wear the PR jersey, and I was like, nah, if I do that,
Yo,
Too much.
it's
A
going to be all
little
over me.
A little bit too much.
I was like, you know, I do appreciate the Fania hat. Like, thank you. I know you're Puerto Rican again. Thank you, bro.
Yo, and
One more time.
Puñeta, this right here, this is actually,
It is
you
a
know my
pretty
friend
dope thing.
Emily.
Yeah, I do like it.
Emily, Dominican, one of my best friends. Actually, she's doing big things in
Oh
the
yeah?
Bronx. Yeah.
That's her joint? That's
Emily
her name?
Marmalejos, her friend Santana. This is her company, Caps and Curls.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, on IG. So
Oh, Caps
definitely
and
those. If you can get those people on, you should get them on. This shit is dope.
That's right.
And
like it.
Emily hooks me up with these stickers. She got the little pastel casitas, you know, like we have
Oh
in
shit,
PR and DR.
that's really dope.
Oh, shit.
I'm gonna look 'em
Off
up.
the chain, yeah, Caps and Curls.
Caps and Curls.
Yeah.
That's a
Dope.
cute name.
I like the name.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So shout out them.
Yeah, no,
Because
no.
this, I
out.
love this.
Everybody doing
Puñeta.
dope shit.
Everybody
I know,
getting
right?
creative,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Everybody getting
But
creative.
it can,
There's a lot of
but
potential.
it could be twin, but you know the Puerto Rican repping, like I don't mind it. You know, rep your flag, pero que coño, the goddamn bandana, the fucking
Yeah, you
Puerto
gotta
Rico
rep.
flag
You gotta
tank
rep.
top,
You gotta
the
rep.
fucking the keychain with
Yeah.
the trillion keys that
Right.
nobody knows, and then the uptowns with the fucking flag también. Like bro, don't let the shit breathe.
Yeah, I used to go to Puerto Rico
No.
every summer. I used to
See,
go to Puerto
but look-
Rico every summer.
Right. And to take it back to the book, right?
Yeah.
And being Latino and what we're trying to accomplish, or what here is to normalize in a way being Latino in the way like he said, like that's banter, right? Like we
Yeah.
can just go at each other, like yeah,
Yeah.
come on, dog, like
Yeah.
te pasaste, you know. But you know that's amongst us as Latinos, right? But you know you think about like I was just telling him, I'm the only Latino I think in my job, right? And we. Aside from like, you know, certain social pressure that we got from our family, you know, you always have that like, let me be careful where I am Latino.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me not be too Latino here because they won't hire me or they may
Yeah.
fire me just because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
being
yeah.
too Latino.
Right.
You know,
it's a lot.
and to me, that shit has to be over.
Yeah.
Like, eso tiempo en pasado, there's 62 million DK on Google. There's obviously fucking like 75, 80 million of us.
I know, right?
You know,
62.
this is our land,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
truly.
and the way to do it is, first of all, by unifying. We're having this conversation before, me and Ron, like how we also tend to fucking hate on each other,
all
jerk
the
on
time.
each other.
So only one seat
You
at the
know,
table.
give that fake apoyo, Like,
know.
no, we literally have to adopt it like we feel like we're one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like we feel it, and it's okay for me and him to be in a situation, have a conversation in Spanish, or just be Latino.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just be.
So-
Just
Literally
be.
Yeah, just
Whatever
be Latino.
it is.
Like this is us. Like you know what I mean? And you're you, and
Yeah.
and this is all ours. You know what I mean? So
And you know it's wild, like from I edit all the shows and all that, and I've seen like even the shifts in shifts in presentation of how I deliver even myself, right? Like before I would say, yo, I'm Dominican, right? But I'm like, I'm not Dominican. My pops is Dominican. I live in Washington Heights, but yo, you know what? Just say Latino. And that's it. Because why am I continue repping this fucking colonizer's
There's
flag?
one- there's one.
Like, yeah, no, I'm, Dominican, Ecuadorian, whatever. These
Whatever
are
it
fucking
is,
flags
yeah.
from other people.
True.
Them
I mean,
shit,
yeah. It's all
To
colonized.
divide
us.
Yeah, it's true.
So it's like, fuck that division shit. Like, yeah, snap jokes, Puerto Ricans,
Yeah.
Cubans, whatever, right? Pero it's like, nah, man, nigga, we won. We're literally
Right.
just one.
Right.
And all those things kind of perpetuate the separation and the idea of separatism. Like, if I'm not only of a certain nationality, but also how I speak, not only English, but the Spanish and the delivery
Yeah.
and the, and the way we carry ourselves. Like, nah, my brothers, nah, my sisters, like, yo, we just won.
We all
like,
won,
what's
though.
the problem?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, and even to see you have this is your embodiment of how you identify your Latino-ness.
Yeah.
And then he might have this and he might have that, and it might be different.
It is all
It doesn't
different.
matter. It's even if it's different spectrums.
Yeah, it's just
You know
that.
what I mean? Of like, all right, like it's still like it's still
yeah,
one. You know what I mean?
It's still one.
Yeah, like maybe he's straight up like this is Latino.
Yeah.
Somebody might be like, yo, I consider myself Dominican American.
And I used to think, and I used to say Hispanic because I was told and I was taught that Hispanics were, you know, from the islands of Hispaniola. So that's why I was like Hispanic. But then there's the other flip side that I didn't know, that the people that choose to call themselves Hispanic is because they have more relationship to Spain, to Spanish people.
Oh.
And I didn't know that.
Oh, shit.
And so I was like, yo, I'm not Hispanic. I'm far fucking removed from the niggas in Spain.
I think that's very much like a Southwest Cali Latino thing, doing the Hispanic. Like not so much here because there's such a Caribbean Latino influence here. And there's the islands of Hispaniola, so that makes sense. But then you got a bunch of people in the Southwest that cling on to their Spanish roots. They're like, no, I'm Hispanic. Don't call me Latino. And it's very real.
They want to have that closer identity to white.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah, nigga,
Yeah.
you are not. Because when you're in that room with those other folks, the
Latin.
ones with the higher power.
Yeah, right. You're not by true definition of your just being here or whatever, but that you can make yourself to be. You know, that's what people do. You know, in order to call it just progression, in order for them to
and
like,
that's the whack part. They call it progression.
and that's the thing is and. You know, I've told him a movie that I recently saw that really hit me was Jonah Hill's Stutz. It's him and his therapist. You know,
What's it called?
Stutz. Yeah, it's about his therapist. His therapist from New York, Jewish guy, I think.
It's a documentary?
Figures.
Yeah, documentary, but it's just
okay.
it's just Jonah and
Checks
his
out.
Jonah and his therapist. It's really good. But Jonah, you know, is on the tip of also normalizing like mental health conversations, like God forbid, you know, me and Dre are coworkers and we have a conversation about one of our like depression or anxiety. You know what I mean? Or something like that. Like it's you can't have that conversation. You know what I mean? That doesn't help. You know what I mean? That doesn't to me that doesn't push world forward. But to get the world forward, you got to push potential. That doesn't push potential. In order to push potential, you have to be able to get what you have inside out.
I have to. That's
You
the only
know,
way.
and you know, and everybody knows this. I'm not like touching on, you know, something that there aren't other people touching on. This is a contribution to it, but that like not suppressing our Latinism, not repressing our Latinism. Like, you know, it is what it is, and I love it.
And it's so it's complex too.
It's very complex
for everyone. For everyone, it's not black and white. It's just there's many shades to it. And also, I want to shout out to our parents and our family members that did start out here and did have
1,000-mile sacrifice,
because they had to go through the bullshit of dealing with more discrimination and more racialization in the jobs that they did, and they had to accept things that are humiliating, and they had to do that. Horrible jobs, horrible treatment, just solely based on who they are. And you know, shout out from our family members that worked in factories all the way to our family members that worked in corporate America. Like it's they paved the way for us to now be in a spot to where I feel like I'm finally stepping into a spot where I'm like, okay, let me stop suppressing, because I've only learned how to suppress and how to assimilate. Like, what is the other thing? Like, I'm figuring that. I'm figuring, like, what is the other thing? And I've actually started recently last week going to my other job. I'm a professor at a university. Or a lecturer, as I am reminded. And
that's what the motherfuckers do, too.
Yes.
Not a professor, a lecturer.
They do. I'm a lecturer. Full-time lecturer. And I've been starting
you ain't professing shit.
The distinction is wild. Academia is like very political. But I've been starting to take the big necklaces that we got. The big, like, beautiful indigenous necklaces that we have. Because it's, for me, I'm like, I actually want this protection. Like, I need this to, like, step into this. Be like, I'm here. I am here.
Right.
And I'm going to work this job to how I need it to work for my life.
Right.
It's a whole generation of generational teachings of don't be you.
Yeah.
Don't be yourself. Keep your head low. Be quiet. Don't talk.
It was a method of survival.
It's funny that I even mentioned the chain. You know why? Because I work, like he mentioned, in corporate America, right? So like I wear a collared shirt, but it's open. I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 chains, right? So for me, it was always like just like hiding a tattoo.
Yeah, tuck it in,
hiding my chain. Like I don't want
that chain.
And
In the
obviously,
corporate
I don't
world.
let my chains out. If it comes out, I put it in. I'm not trying to hang a chain out.
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
that's
yeah.
unprofessional. And the big one, but I don't take them off. I used to take them off. Like God forbid one of them popped out.
Yeah.
It's like,
They're gonna know I'm Latino.
I'm fired.
I'm Latino. Hold on.
I think I just got an email from HR.
Now it's like they're there. Like I keep them in. You know what I mean? There's a dress code. You know what I mean? I get that. Yeah, I'm gonna buy it. We obey. You know what I mean? Pero I'm not also gonna just leave my shit at home. Why? This is a lifeline to me. This means a lot to me. I've been getting gold chains since I was a kid. And azabaches, the evil eye. So it's like, again, normalizing Latino, and to that effect, it only works on it being normal to the other side if we unify and all do it. And not all do it because it's with a purpose. All do it because we should be doing it. He fucking has a chain. You have a gold chain. We love gold. Like that's us. You know what I mean? Like, but
What do you think will take to make that happen, the unify happen, and why it hasn't happened yet?
aside from reading my book,
There we go. Promotion. Let's go.
The most
Let's go.
fucking plug.
that's what I love you,
Answer my question.
Was that a setup? Did you just set that up?
Man did a fucking alley-oop, and the motherfucker just broke.
And that shit was organic. That shit was organic. That shit was organic.
You just need to be like, oh, you mean this?
bro.
As highly described in this beautiful book, I Soy Latino.
Yours for only 5 payments of $9.95.
Yo,
Oh man.
I'll start with knowledge. Knowledge is power. If you
Yes.
feel proud to be Dominican or proud to be Puerto Rican, you probably don't realize that you would probably be very proud to learn about Colombians or Mexicans or Peruvians. So there's knowledge first, right? There's learning the other cultures if you have that interest. You know what I mean? And then there's that mutual acceptance when you are in a room. Here in New York, obviously, we have the benefit of being with multicultural Latino, different types of Latinos. But I think, to me, that's how it starts, because I think with that knowledge, we're able to easily, in times where we might have a certain difference, it could be political too. Like there's a lot, a lot
It
of
happens
divisiveness within
families.
our countries.
Yeah.
It's decided.
That's where you
designed that way.
could remind one another that, whoa, hold on, that you're every family is unique, but you're also second generation bilingual. You also speak Spanglish to a certain degree. Maybe not like the Puerto Riqueño, not like us, but most second generation Latinos here throw in a little Spanglish. Right?
Of course.
Spanglish is a real word in the dictionary.
course.
I think it should be actually
If
made
motherfuckers could put
a language.
You know,
if
there should be a
motherfuckers could put the
language.
word emoji in the Oxford Dictionary, you goddamn
Yeah.
right, Spanglish is
Yes.
a fucking word.
And if,
And bling bling.
and if there's so many other official languages that are really truly derivatives of other languages, why can't Spanglish be a language?
No, bro, it could.
Why?
Because we have to. Once again, it's the identity crisis. The more you speak the proper Spanish, you have to be one or the other. You need to be either fucking English or Spanish.
Yeah.
And if you speak Spanish, it has to be the proper Spanish.
Yeah.
I remember, like, one of the issues that I ran into when we did our film Beware of the Caller, and we premiered it in DR. Oh yeah. and we promoted in DR, and I had to write the subtitles for it. And one of the internal issues I had with the writers was writing this in Spanish, and I was like, I want to write it in Dominican Spanish.
It wasn't your right Spanish.
And they were like, nah, man, but it's not only Dominicans that are going to be watching it. But I'm like, yeah, but that what we're talking about translates in organically in Dominican Spanish, because that's what I know it as. Right. But if I write, que rayos, or whatever fucking Spanish people use as their shit. Like,
But then again,
I'm like, this doesn't fucking translate.
No one talks like this. No one talks like that.
You were the visionary and in control of that movie, and you know where the end of that movie is. But to his point, a situation like that, this is where I think to make it happen, like you said, is you figure out how to make some sort of integration.
And even that, because it's Dominicans in the room.
Because your integration, that
so,
unity is going to create more opportunity. You know what I mean? Like
all of us are Dominican that we wrote the film and or we discussed it, and they all told me, nah, man, what you're doing is wrong. We should be writing it the right Spanish way. And I'm like, nah, nigga, our Spanish is right too. And then that's when like a whole shit.
But I mean, you've also shared with me that there are people in DR that speak the Spanish accent
because they're so
or they
colonized.
speak the Spanish with the Spanish accent,
and
even though
it's
they're not
like
from
you're trying to escape from the identity to associate with what is been taught to us that is right. And I'm like, come on, man, get the fuck out of here.
Right. And I get that, But again, like to me is how do I say it? Like, if we can figure out ways to get over that type and still how do you say it? Feel like we are the same, if that makes sense, then in the context of here, in the context of look, your family and my family have gone through the same shit, even though we speak different dialects of Spanish and this and that. We're one. We want to be able to be ourselves, whether it's Dominican or whatever that other Latin culture was. If we're both doing it, it's going to make it normal. On the other side.
Power in numbers.
And it's a challenge because people are scared, literally shook of being themselves, or having or being that identity, or being part of that identity of where they came from. You came over here, and the first thing that your parents from certain groups like will be like, yo, I'd rather not teach you Spanish because that shit will set you back. And it's like, what the fuck?
That's the scary part.
Like that's the think about that. They didn't want to teach you Spanish because if you speak Spanish, that will set you back.
That's how they survived.
And it's
that's
like,
what they passed on.
What? And so now we over here working against that grain.
Right.
All that work they did.
And that's where that insecurity in our generation that we all share in common
but now times
was built
changed,
from.
though.
You know what I mean? That's the root
times
of that.
has changed though, because they know that we numbered out. Like we have a lot of numbers out here. So now talking Spanish is like, oh shit, that's a plus.
Oh, now they welcome
Exactly.
It's a super plus right now.
It started with fucking Bloomberg hablando en español.
Por favor, empieza a movilizarse. Es muy peligroso quedarse en esta área y estará violando la ley. Por favor, protéjanse y tome precauciones.
Now all the mayors, yo quiero cerrar la escuela. Yo, my man, fall back. Fall back. Van, mañana, no quiero cerrar. Yo. We don't fucking understand you, bro. Trying to fucking take our shit. We don't understand you, bro. Yeah, broken down Spanish.
Motherfucker sounded like a whole chat GPT back in the day.
Yo, for real.
That was a whole run for that guy.
Yeah. Now you want to speak Spanish. Now you want to inform us it's gonna be a snowstorm tomorrow, right? Now you want to inform us.
Yo, bro. So we got on the book Love, Pride. What was
Love, Pride, Family. We have Culture.
Culture
as a chapter, and then we have Tragedy. Right.
Coping.
Yeah. Tragedy. That's the brief chapter. We finished the book with a celebration, but
as we should.
Yeah.
Always.
When I die, don't cry. Don't cry. Have a motherfucking party.
Fucking party.
A big rager.
Have a party.
That is the way.
None of that crying shit.
Yeah. I don't know if it was in. I saw a video. I don't know, YouTube, TikTok. I don't know, but I don't know. Was it DR, PR? I don't know. But they were pushing down this guy's casket, but his casket was like see-through. And they were on top of the casket, throwing lick on top of the casket, music blasting. He's pushing this dude down the street, bro.
Yo,
I'm like, yo, you know what? Fuck it. Go out with a bang. We're having a full-blown party on top of this man's casket, bro.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
It's
What was
crazy.
it? I don't know if they were Guyanese.
I don't know about the see-through though.
But no,
Yeah,
the Guyanese had
oh,
like
they
the
had
whole
it open or
scripted
something.
shit. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that whole
yeah,
video
yeah.
where they were fucking
Oh,
dancing.
yeah,
My man.
that's
There's
right.
a video. I swear to you, I have to find it. There's a video of somebody that passed, and they put his dead body in the club. Standing in the club, I swear to you.
That gotta be Puerto Rico.
Yo, they got him in the club.
The BX?
I swear to you.
Oh my
Yo,
god.
I have to look it up.
Like
Yeah.
standing in the casket or a
He's
scene
standing right by the stage, by the corner. You never heard of this? You never heard of this? Yeah.
Oh my
yo,
God.
Yeah, that ass.
Like Weekend at Bernie's, bro.
They got homie all dressed up. He like.
Looks like he needs a drink. He's a little tense.
Shout out to him, whoever he is. You know,
He's got the bill. He's got the tab.
Yeah, it was insanity. I was like, wow,
Damn,
you know
my man
what?
has not moved the whole night. That nigga is holding down that corner.
They probably use his credit card
Shout out
too.
to that family. We're not making fun of it. It was just amazing to me. You know, I think there was even girls dancing on him. I swear to God. Yo, I have to find this video. I'm
I hope
telling
they
you.
put him in the
I'm telling
VIP
you.
section.
I'm telling you. I know
It's
I'm not
like,
bugging. I saw
wanna
it.
be
I saw
popping
it.
bottles.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And yo, if that's a new wave, fuck it, man.
Sounds like a great
That's a
time.
new wave.
I want everyone to remember a great time.
Yeah, fuck that.
That's the only way it should be.
Fuck that. Hey, hell yeah. Fuck that.
So what? So when you actually decided to pull the trigger on making the book, you know what I'm saying? Like what was like the motivation behind you saying like, yo, fuck it, I'm gonna do it? You know.
It was a work in progress for long. You know, hard to find the time, but also that bad habit of starting something, start doing another. I went to Puerto Rico in December, and I met this guy, David, through my boy Carlos, and Carlos brought up the fact that I do poetry out of nowhere, and David invited me to a private open mic over there. It was interesting. It was in Condado, one of the condos, like top floor. A lot of people not native Puerto Rican but live there now, you know, Act 22, the tax breaks and all that. The guy who owned the apartment was Asian. Anyway, they had like a poetry circle, and it was like a private event and whatever, and I went and I spit, and I don't know, there was just something about, you know, doing it in Puerto Rico, which I hadn't done in a long ass time, that I at that moment I was like, this book is not going another fucking month without me, you know, finishing it. You know, it was just, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but that's what got it to the finish line. I came back and I hit up the photographer who I have to shout out, Anastacio, Christopher. He did the photos. AC was my very first friend in first grade. So we're family, you know, we're friends to this day. Greek, he's from Inwood, you know, uptown, very immersed in our culture, the Heights culture, you know, Latino, the Heights, and AC, like, he just murdered it, you know, he's behind it, he's been pushing it. Some of the opportunities that have come, like, I spoke at a collegiate school downtown the other day through AC. We both went to Fordham Prep. Fordham Prep took it in. They're you know, moving around their curriculum. So I'm hitting up, you know, the educational circuit. Yeah. You know, so shout out to, I just want to make sure, you know, AC got his due proper. But yeah, that really was like, let me package it in. And then, I mean, it's only like 20 of my poems. Like, I have like 30 something others or whatever. But, you know,
like, I got a whole archive.
Right.
You know, I did this one overnight.
yeah.
Like, I didn't even write this.
I just put this shit together real quick.
But yeah, so like finally it's out. Now I'm working on a novel piece. It's called The Dream Fight.
Already doing that step up, man. Fucking
Yeah.
a short story book and a fucking novel.
It's about
the novel.
Yeah, it's a boxing story. You know,
You can't give out the ideas just yet because other motherfuckers will jack them.
Copyright.
Out of nowhere, he's like,
and then
coño,
you know,
somebody else did.
I do have a written full feature script that we were talking about.
Shit. That's awesome.
Floated around for a while, you know, in the days, and then again, that was one of those where like hit certain, you know, points, but then life took me kind of this way and that way. It's there, you know, that it's always been well received. It's based on a true story. It's called Ivy League Hood. So, you know, I'm trying to continue writing, but, you know, I love promoting too. So I use it as I always did, like to be back and meet people and push people and inspire people. You know, that's, I think what's always gotten my juices flowing is just like making people feel good, you know. In recent times, you know, I've been doing more of the trying to, you know, make myself feel good, because if I make myself feel good, then I'm gonna make people feel even better.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
but you also an actor. You've been in a movie before.
Yo, my man, but have you been practicing?
Yeah, I do. Shout out to Mike Diaz. Shout out to Mike Diaz.
You think you gonna let that one slip, huh? You was a doctor in Juan Bago, bro.
Michael Diaz, bro.
Shout out to Mike Juan Bago.
Inspiration, like. Yeah. During that time, you know, Mike, like, bro, his, you know, Mike obviously has his talent and everything, but his drive,
it's crazy.
His focus,
it's crazy.
Has been, I see it now, you know, and probably still is at another level. You know, that was the thing about Mike Diaz that was very inspiring, like for me, and not just creatively, like bro, like you want to talk about un tipo que le da, él le da, you know. So Mike, I gotta shout him out because like he's in this, you know what I mean? You mentioned Homeboy Sandman and Angel, like he's in this, you know what I mean? Like Angel, forget it. Yeah, you know, like I don't even know how to explain, like Ron knows, like when I first saw like how Angel did what he did, it was like, oh my God. The world needs to see this shit. Yeah. You know, and the world does. The motherfucker
towards the world. Yeah.
But talk about another guy, you know, aside from the talent, you know, that focus and that drive, you know.
And that's what it got him.
And guys like him that can let other guys know that are in like not in his position now, but going into his position that happen to be Latino. You know, and tell them be whatever the fuck you are, because talk about someone who did, right? He dropped out of law school.
Oh shit! I had no idea he dropped out of law school.
Wow. He went to
Hofstra, I think.
No, he was like in UPenn.
He went to UPenn. Wow. He went to UPenn with my daughter's mom. That's how we. I think that's how we connected. Through Nick and to me the most important, aside from you, of course, you know, and I gotta shout him out, you know, because I don't want this to escape. Anthony Morales, you know, Ant Mo. I went to Columbia with Ant, and I was Ant entourage back in that day, going to the New Eurekan, seeing him slam, and just a Bronx Boricua, and he was just out of control good, you know, and he was my boy. I would chill, smoke L's, you know, kick it. But like I was always such a fucking fan of his, and he's what inspired me to write. You know, I probably would have never started writing the ones that I was singing in the doing in the shower if it wasn't for Ant. I was like, yo, like, because it just like listening to his poems, like I'd go home and all the shit that'd be reverberating through my head because I relate, you know, I'm New Eurekan, was incredible, and he was around during those times, you know. And
he was the first Latino on Def Poetry Jam.
Def Poetry Jam,
Yes, sir. You've spoken about
you
him.
know. So, and he's a good friend of mine. I shouted him out on the back of the book because it's true. You know, I can't say that I would have picked up. I don't think, maybe, you know, but if it wasn't for Ant, you know, and he's always been very supportive. You know, that's another thing. Ant is fucking incredibly talented, incredibly busy. He's a great teacher. He's a father, you know. But even in that day, whether it was like a project for Ron, or me, or he would always show up. Like La Esquina, Ant would always show up, you know. So that having that too was like, that again, to go back to the Latino apoyo, Latino unity, that gets you to keep pushing. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, man.
Yo, you know, like, this is something I never actually verbalized to you, but as a kid, your influence on me in regards to Latinidad was very strong. I remember one time you out of nowhere you showed up with a wooden ring, and I asked you what's that from, and you're like, yo, because when I get married, I want to do it like the Tainos did it with the wooden ring exchange. And I was like, wow. Yeah. I'm like, that's, and I, you know, because other niggas would be like, yo, man, you just broke. Right? I was like, yo, those Gabe working Wall Street? Fucking doing it Wall Street. Motherfuckers with haters. Right? And I was like, nah, yo, that is so beautiful. It's like, yeah, I just want a bonfire, and the way I want to spiritually bond with whoever I give this ring to is gonna be next level. And I want to do it the way that the Tainos did. I want to go back to, you know, the roots of our ancestors and all that such. And niggas were laughing.
Wait, so what is the way that Tainos do?
I never really looked it up, but that story forever stuck with me. And I was like, yo, you know what? I want to do it as close to, I want to be as close as to what my ancestors were. Like, that was my takeaway. Right. So when everybody else is laughing, I'm just there, mad quiet, listening to this motherfucker go off. And I'm like, yo, what he's saying is some real shit right now. Like, this is real. And I didn't say anything then. I just said like, wow, whatever, right? But that shit resonated so much in my brain that's what stuck in my brain. That even whoever like I wanted to be, you know, partners with and look at them as life partners, I was like, yo, this goes beyond just me giving you a fucking ring and whatever's on, you know, Zales and K commercials and all that bullshit. I'm like, no, I want this to be fucking meaningful beyond the metaphysical. Like, it needs to be at a fucking spiritual level or whatever. And removing the idea of spirituality from religion and all that shit was so foreign to me. But when you said it at that time, the way I envisioned it, you know, fucking bonfire and the unification and exchange. And everybody barefooted. Yo, my man, I went to a whole nother fucking realm in my brain. And all you hear is a motherfucking, this nigga just broke.
But yo, like, you bullseye that one. Like, you nailed that one, like, straight in the middle of the bullseye. Because, yeah, man, like, we love hard. You know, as Latinos, we love hard. You know, and it's tough sometimes, you know, like, to be honest, like, even in romance love, you know what I mean? Like, how can I manage because I feel so strong, you know what I mean? And we all have that, like, in common, you know what I mean? So to his point, like, even though, like, and my thinking was like, how can I make it feel like the fucking strongest? You know what I mean? Like I'm about to bang. Like, de sentimiento adentro, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. Like, we'll worry.
Lifetime line to you.
We'll worry about the 2-3 carats later, you know what I mean? Like, we'll worry about the carats later.
Let me see if you wear the wooden ring.
Yeah, like,
let me see if you
I'll
wear
get
the
you
wooden
the bling,
ring.
you know what I mean? Like,
don't worry. How real you gonna keep
but
it.
if we're gonna feel this shit, it
we
has
gotta
to be
go
wood, yo. It has to be wood.
It has to be wood.
Barefoot, like, spirits need to be fucking
wood is
flying
warm.
everywhere.
Wood is warm
and
it's
at the wedding,
nature.
you know what I mean? Like,
hell yeah. Fuck that.
The deacon, the priest, whatever has to speak in tongues, you know what I mean? Like, everyone does limpiezas, you know, coming up the aisle and shit. Like, like, it's true because it's like, that to me is like, that's the type of love that I want to express to you, but to be honest, not everyone can handle that. Let's be real. You know,
you're absolutely.
I know that. You know what I mean? But hey, again, it goes to being okay, being you. If that's who you are,
that's cool,
bro. That energy doesn't just fly away. You know. So if that's you and that's your energy, then fucking be it. It's gonna find a home. You know what I mean? It's gonna find a home.
That's
like,
good. That's
so.
True. That's true.
No.
That's very true.
We'll do the transition of last call for words. My brother, my main man, Dre Drizzo.
What could I say?
Fucking always love Harlem.
Always love being here. Always love being here. It's always among family.
Yeah, the energy on today was on point.
It's insane. And that's the energy we had back in the days. And, you know, we've been talking about unity. You've been talking about unity of Latinos. And to tell you the truth, when you open your doors to your house, the unity that we had there, it was like what I envision what we should have with all months Latinos and any minority and everybody that was to be together. And when you put people together and help each other, shit happens. Sandman happened. He's cross season, all that. You with your production, you writing books, you know, and the list goes on and on and on. So support each other, love each other, and we'll make shit happen.
Oh, man. Beautiful last call for me.
Thank you. I appreciate it, you know. Little by little, we're getting better.
You're a pro already.
Wow.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, so seasoned.
Well seasoned. All right.
It's only the second season.
Flip it over and do the other side.
The beautiful, the lovely, always honorable Lady H, what would you like your last call for us to be?
Just be.
Just be, shit.
We're in a space where we can just be, finally. And sometimes it's hard to just be, but you know, it gets easier with time.
No. Yeah. With practice, repetition of just being, you
Yeah.
will be.
You will be.
Yeah.
Word up.
My brother, fucking Gabriel Irizarry. Gabe, the Poet G.
The Poet G.
Man, yo, it's been, like, this 1 hour feels so short that I felt like it didn't do justice in us reconnecting. I was just like, shit, we
you
got
just
so
take it back like the day and talk for hours until 4 in the morning.
Fuck, like, yes. No, it was beautiful, man. Just beautiful reliving this, reliving those memories and those moments. But most importantly, I'm so excited to touch on more future projects and events and just reconnecting and rebuilding again, man. So, thank you for coming on, and I just want to give you a huge shout out. So please, let me know what your last call for words would be.
Gracias, bro. Bendición. Vayan con cuidado. Bubble Goose jackets. We're living uptown.
I remember that.
I remember that shit.
207th Street, Dykeman Street. Esos son plaza. Like 165, 164, and 163. Arcinaola, Juarez, and Tijuana. Yo, appreciate y'all bringing me on here, man. Ron, you're my brother. I love you for life. Latinos United. Feel free to pick up the book. Hope everybody enjoys it.
Absolutely.
And
Looking forward to seeing that.
let's make it happen.
Yo, not for nothing, although this was your first podcast, you did a very seamless plug on your fucking book.
know.
It was beautiful.
It was just like,
Yes.
It was beautiful.
like this motherfucker thinks he's on Good Morning America.
Hey, bro. You see the ball at the hoop? No, you see the ball at the... Hey, all I had to do was tip that shit.
He set it up. Not once, but twice.
That shit was at the rim already.
Yeah.
The reason I choose to have the last call for words is because at the end of every conversation, I do want to walk away learning something new. And, today, not only that I feel like I'm walking away not only learning something new, but knowing something new of just overall pride of being Latino. And, for me, it's being present is one thing, but yeah, it's the pride of being Latino. Just because people tell you, oh, you're loud, you're proud, and nah, my man, I'm just here. And what the fuck is wrong with that?
Yeah.
But you know what? It's more reassuring and knowing that trajectory of that identity, not only that we're building, but that identity that we are, is fucking beginning to solidify.
Yeah.
Because it's not building an identity. No, we are our identity. We are what we want to be. We are who we are. I mean, like, we are who we ought to be. And it's like, it's okay. Why the fuck should I have to want to be something else? Like, why should I have to identify a fucking overall worldly knowledge with going to Europe and studying classical music? What the fuck is wrong with me going to the Caribbeans and South America and going into the deep campos of the roots of how people live, survive, and do it on a day-to-day with fucking nothing? Why do I have to say that they live like savages, and that, rather than saying that, yo, those people live and they've always lived like that and continue to live and will probably live after us, because when all this shit's motherfucking fan, they got it down packed. So why can't I feel pride because of that? it's why should I always feel ashamed? And today I literally learned like, yo, if I want to feel pride, it's not about being proud Latino American. It's being proud Latino, from my ancestors, the ones before us, the grandparents,
Across the
parents,
board.
the motherfuckers that came here legally, illegally. Like, why should I be ashamed of them niggas too?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all much more pride because they made it happen. And even after they came illegally, they put in much more of the motherfucking work than anybody else to make shit fucking happen.
Right.
And illegally is just crossing this motherfucking line that somebody else put because we've been on this land, on this side of the fucking hemisphere forever.
Talk to them.
And I'm supposed to feel fucking
Talk to them.
ashamed?
Talk to them.
Right.
God
Nah.
damn it.
So now, nigga, I soy Latino.
I want to add something to that. I want to add something to that. The new generation is not saying, because you just remind me right now, the new generation is not saying a lot of bendiciones to the old
Yo,
shit. That shit hurts me,
I
yo.
need to be hit with a bendición, papá.
That shit hurts me. None of my
and the hug,
motherfucking
and the
nephews.
hug.
None of my
Hugs
nephews
are
hit me
cool,
with
Yo,
a
man.
kiss on the cheek. What's wrong with the kiss on the
Nothing
cheek,
wrong
bro?
with that.
Bro. So the young Latinos gotta start hitting one with the bendición, man. Yeah, bro.
I don't know about sending the cambumbos back to DR. That I won't be doing. That shit does end with me. My grandmother's like 90 fucking plus, and that lady's still taking cambumbos of clothes back to fucking DR. I'm not doing any of that. I'm sorry.
Those are the martyrs. Those are the martyrs.
But y'all motherfuckers moving forward better give me a bendición, papa.
Especially my nephews. No bendiciones, bro. Hey, what up, tío? Yo.
Bendición, bendición. Kiss the head.
Little bendición here and there, bro. Like, come on, man.
Yo, with that said, this is Ron. Hey, yo, thank you, Trey.
Oh, thank you.
Lovely Lady H. Gabe, yo, my man. Absolute
Always.
blessing. This is
Love
Ron
y'all.
Kane. This is Just Words. Nobody cares. And we're out.
And with that,
And with that said, we're out. Oh, man. That was...
You're natural. It's natural.